What do you think it takes to be able to defend yourself? What do you think you need? And most people think self-defense is about the ninja moves, but I did martial arts school for 20 years focusing on self-defense, and I can tell you it's not about that. Fighting techniques are only a bonus to what you need to be able to defend yourself, or just to feel and be safe. And isn't that what it's really about, to feel and be safe? Because if you did, why would you worry about learning self-defense? So in this video, I'm going to give you 2 things that you should be doing that are much more important than learning fighting techniques. And understanding and applying that can make much more of a difference to your self-defense abilities than years of training in self-defense classes. So let me tell you a little story to illustrate what I mean. So a few years ago, they caught this guy in Australia who followed another guy home and he stabbed him 30 times in his apartment. And it was a breaking news story, 5-page spreads in the newspapers, and they described him as a baby-faced killer. No one could have known. He looked innocent, you know. And when you read this, and they thought he was going to become a serial killer, he had no remorse. And then when you read this, you think, geez, that could be anyone. It could be a neighbor. It could be the guy sitting next to you on the bus. And it could happen to anyone. It could happen to me. And what am I going to do if someone attacks me with a knife? Well, so you're going to have to learn some knife defense, right? But, you know, I've been doing martial arts for 40 years and I don't want to defend against a knife. And I can tell you that to learn knife defense and become proficient at that is completely unrealistic for 99.9% of people. So that's not the solution. But there is a solution. And the solution was actually also talked about in the 5-page spread. But it was only a tiny little paragraph and no one paid attention to it. So there was a tiny paragraph that said that after the guy got caught, another guy came forward. And he said that he had an encounter with that guy as well. He walked home and he noticed a guy following him. And he turned around and he confronted the guy. And the would-be killer turned around and ran away. And that was it. Now, how much easier do you think it is to do that, to turn around and confront the guy, or to run away, or whatever, than to wait until that guy is standing in front of you with a knife? But that's exactly the mistake that most people make who get into that kind of trouble. They don't react until it's too late. You have to think about this differently. You have to deal with the situation as early as possible, when it's still easy and you can prevent anything further from happening. So these are the 2 things you have to do. First, you have to trust your intuition. And this is all about awareness. But awareness is not about being paranoid or looking over your shoulder all the time. And a lot of women do that, but that doesn't help. Everybody gets intuitions. You know, feelings that something might be wrong. Gut feelings, hunches, hesitations, suspicions. But a lot of people don't know what to do with that. So they don't do anything. And that's a mistake. So in the story before, the guy had an intuition that something was wrong behind him, so he turned around and he checked things out. And if you don't do that, in most cases when you get a hunch that something's behind you, you just turn around, you check it out, and in most cases there's probably nothing at all. And when you see that, you can relax straight away. But if you don't do that, you carry that fear home with you. And then maybe you're home and you think, oh, lucky that nothing happened, but nothing was going to happen anyway. So you take that fear home with you and you take that fear with you next time you go out. But fear is not a state for you to be in. It's a signal for you to do something about so that feeling stops. So what do you do to make that feeling stop? And this is the second thing you have to do. You set boundaries. And that story, turning around was setting a boundary. Confronting the guy was setting a boundary. Running away would have also been a boundary. Now, boundaries help you prevent situations from escalating. What you need to understand is that self-defense doesn't start with the attack, but way before that. And learning fighting techniques takes a lot of hard work to become proficient at, and you're only ever dealing with the symptoms of a problem. But what I'm talking about, trusting your intuition and setting boundaries, you're going to the root cause. This is not about how well you can fight. It's about who you are, how you deal with people and situations in general. Now, to practice that, you don't have to go to the gym. You can practice this in normal, everyday situations. At work or at the supermarket when someone tries to disrespect you or take advantage of you. And if you set your boundaries there, that's where you build up the confidence and the momentum to deal with more difficult, even dangerous situations. And they're also much less likely to happen. Does it make sense? I hope so. So, if you have any questions in regards to anything self-defense, please let me know. Also, check out the other posts in this group. Also, if you want to fast track, if you want all the information of what to do and how to do it and quickly and cheaply, then check out my program at empowermentessentials.com. And that's it for me for now. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you soon.